So we welcome everyone to this evening's program. Thank you very much for joining us. Um, this is a traditional program that we do every year, and we're very happy to be here with everyone who's come together. The program is very simple. We start by chanting, and the mantra is also very straightforward. Many of you would have had the opportunity to chant it. It's Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So my request is that everyone would chant. I will start by chanting, and then after that I will request you to chant. This is also very effective because you find that when you hear the chanting or the mantra, you find that you are attentive to listening to it. And then after that, once I have chanted, then it's your turn to chant it. And when you chant it, it's my turn to hear it. Pamalochan Prabhu, are we all right to start now?
Yes.
Yeah?
Thank you very much, everybody. For those of you who have come from the yoga group of Hui Mataji, welcome to you. For those of you who have come from NTU, those of you who have come from the Ceylon Road Temple and the Lakshmi Narayan Temple. We have our Vice President of Lakshmi Narayan Temple over here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for accepting it as a personal invitation. I do not know a number of you, but I'm really very grateful that you could come over and join us in this wonderful celebration of Deepavali. I think as what Hui would say, she shouldn't be arriving anymore. She would always say, just go with the flow, just be mesmerized by the music, by the flow of the divine vibrations, and you will certainly feel that you are being uplifted in the entire journey. Many of you have already experienced this, so I'm just preaching to the choir. Okay, Prabhu.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So let's start
space
chanting.
over here. When your friends come in case it gets a little crowded, there's more space over there. There's also more space on the staircase.
On the stairs. Those are circle seats. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Your turn. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Your turn. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Your turn. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Everybody. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Bol, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This was such a powerful chorus. Thank you so much. Sometimes, we go to so many houses and the level of enthusiasm of the audience is so important. This method of meditation, which is chanting, cannot be effective until it is the collective effort of the audience as well as the singer. One person will not make an entire audience. So I'm very grateful that all of you were chanting and you were concentrating. I think that's really important. These vibrations that you hear are considered to be spiritual. They are not material. And I will tell you why they are not material. If you want to test something which is spiritual, you can actually test it. Which is why we call this a science. This is not a belief, it's a science. Just like anything in the world, if you have a theory, you can actually test it. And if you test it and it works, then you know it is effective. If you test it and it doesn't work, then you can discard it. It is nicely stated that if you were to chant anything which is spiritual, and that is what a mantra is considered. A mantra is considered a spiritual vibration. If you discuss anything spiritual, if you chant anything spiritual, three things will not affect you at the time of your chanting, and three things you can carry with you in your consciousness. The first thing that will not happen to you as you are chanting and you are concentrating is that whatever material hankerings and desires that you may have, you will not feel them at the point of your chanting. Otherwise, what happens is material desires and hankerings have a way of never ending. They constantly keep coming. In the name of ambition, we want to be self-satisfied, but it is very difficult. Whenever we look at someone or we see something happening, we always feel that we should be getting something more. It's very difficult to meet a self-satisfied person. But when you chant the holy names, when you chant the names, as we did, you'll find that whatever material hankerings that you have in your heart, you become peaceful. That's the first symptom. The second symptom is that whatever feeling of envy that we may have in our hearts, that also reduces when we are chanting the mantra. Otherwise, what happens is in this material world, it is not very difficult to come for social functions or social gatherings and become envious, even if we don't admit it to ourselves, because we see others doing something and we feel that we should also possess what they have. It's easy for us to go into a function, for example, which is material. And sometimes we become disturbed because we have so much of discussion which has nothing to do with spirit, but it has everything to do with matter. Therefore, when you come for a spiritual congregation, you will find that the mood in which you are chanting is that it makes you very non-envious. And that's a very important quality. The second quality that's really important is that when you chant a mantra which is powerful and which is spiritual, you will find that there is no fear or anxiety, especially when you are immersed in it. The more you are immersed in it, the more you are concentrating on it, you'll find that the more you are, the more you're free of anxiety. Some people claim that they are not fearful, but I can tell you the cousin of fear is anxiety. And even if you say that I'm free of fear, no one can be free of some level of anxiety. There's always going to be anxiety. Today's Sunday, tomorrow we're back to work. There's some anxiety. And there will always be anxiety about something which is material. But when we come together and we are able to chant, then you will find that actually you do not feel that level of anxiety. So test yourself whenever you chant the mantra. If you are really chanting it and you are immersed in it, if that mantra really has potency, then these three things should not be able to touch you. That's very important. Now, why we gathered here today? Because of the great occasion, the festive occasion of Diwali. And like all traditions in all parts of the world, in different races and religions, this particular tradition of Diwali also represents something very powerful. And like all other religions and beliefs in the world, it speaks on one theme. Diwali is always a theme where you have light replacing darkness, and you have knowledge replacing ignorance. Which is why at the end of our session today, all of us will be lighting lamps, and we will be offering the lamps to the Lord. The reason for that is we believe that when we are in the lamp of knowledge, then we see things as they truly are. But without knowledge, when we are in ignorance, then we don't see things as they should be. And this is very important. In darkness, you will realize that you cannot see things as they should be because it is dark. But when everything is illuminated, then you understand your position in life. You understand your relationship with the Supreme Creator. You realize the power and also the efficiency of being spiritual. Why? Because you have the knowledge. Sometimes people think that material knowledge is very important and spiritual knowledge can wait. Let's wait until we retire and then we will amass some amount of spiritual knowledge. But actually, spiritual knowledge is the foundation, because without that, we will not be able to live in this world free of anxiety. With all the material knowledge that we have, we still have not been able to be free of that. In fact, very often we become more immersed in it. So therefore, what knowledge you gather is extremely important. There's a story in our scriptures. It's about a scholar who came back to his village. And when he came back to his village, he was quite boastful of how much he had learned. He got on a boat to cross from the mainland to the village. And on the boat, he realized that the boatman was his old friend from the days when he was in the village. And so other passengers got on board the boat, and they were all seated, and the boatman was rowing them. As they were rowing them, this scholar turned to the boatman and said, "My friend, so I've known you for a long time. I've been away because I've been studying. So I want to know, how much knowledge do you have? You're on this boat every day, and you're crossing it every day. You're crossing the river. Do you know what kind of life exists in the river? Have you studied, the animals, the flora, the fauna that exist here? And the boatman said, my friend, I really have no time to do that. All I have time for is to actually get you from point A to point B and make sure that the boat is steering safely on the waters. That's all I have to do. He said, oh, that's a waste. At least 20% of your life is wasted because you don't have that knowledge. Then he said, you're always in the open. Have you thought about when you're rowing in the night, how many stars there are? Where is the moon? What is the position of the constellations? I studied all this. I studied astronomy. I know the positions of the planet. Do you? He said, no. All the time, I don't look up actually. I'm just looking ahead and making sure you get there safely. So I have no time for that. And the scholar said, then another 20% of your life is gone. Then he said, do you understand how your boat is able to float? Do you know the science of it at least? He said, no, I just know it floats. And I know when it doesn't float, you have to get out of the boat. That's all I know. And he said, oh my God, that's 40% more of your life wasted. You have no knowledge of these things. All of a sudden, as they were going on, and the scholar was speaking and speaking, the sky became overcast and rains began pouring. And the boat became very unstable because of the strong waves of the river. And at that point of time, the boatman assessed the situation. And he said, there's going to be a huge storm. And our boat is very small and we are too overcrowded. In India, whenever you get on boats, 90% of the time they're overloaded, right? I've had occasions when I got onto a boat and I looked at my side and I saw a goat next to me because the farmer decided to bring his pet goat onto the boat also. So the boats are generally overcrowded. And so the boatman looked at everything and said, everyone, I don't think we're going to survive because there's going to be a big storm. And I think the boat will be too rocky. It may not be able to survive the ride. So everybody became very calm and they all started jumping into the water and swimming a little bit more to the shore, except the scholar. The boatman turned to the scholar and said, my friend, you have so much knowledge and you have learned so much. I really hope in all this time that you were away and studying and amassing so much knowledge, I hope you have the knowledge to swim. And the boatman said, that's the one knowledge that I never learned. And therefore, the boatman turned to him and said, if that is the case, 100% of your life is completely wasted. It's a simple story, but it illustrates a very important point. We spend a lot of our time in matter. We spend a lot of time amassing material knowledge, which is necessary for our upkeep, for our day-to-day living. But if we don't accumulate the right kind of spiritual knowledge, then we'll not be able to navigate the challenges of our lives. Because material solutions are there, but very often material solutions have their own set of problems too. And if you think your material solutions are going to give you remedies, sometimes the solutions lead to more problems. You go to a doctor, for example, what happens? He prescribes a medicine for you. And after he gives you the medicine, he says, oh, by the way, I'll need to give you another medicine. Because if you take this medicine, you're going to get gastric. So I'm going to give you something for the gastric. If you've spent a lot of time in hospital, you'll realize most of the time doctors are not just treating your ailment. They are treating the side effects of the medicine that they have to administer to you just to make sure that your ailment is being contained. So we have a saying in the scriptures, the material solutions are very often more problematic or just as problematic as the problems that first arose. The key is to understand spirit. And that's why Diwali is an occasion when we remind ourselves that we should actually be committed equally to the pursuit of spirit as well as to the pursuit of matter. That's very important. Now there is an origin story of Diwali, and that's why later you will light the lamps. I'm going to spend 10-15 minutes telling you that story, and I'm going to try and extract from that story what are the most important values that we learn. So bear with me, right? Keep up with me. If this is a little bit different, that's okay. I always tell everyone who listens to new things or listens to things that appear very different from the normal events that we hear, that you should always keep an open mind. An open mind is like a parachute. How does a parachute work? It works only when it's open, isn't it? If your parachute can't open, good luck to you. So you need to have an open mind. Now what I'm going to tell you is this. On the day of Diwali morning, right, in the spiritual world, right, the important point that we understand is God is not just someone very far away. We believe that the creator is someone who is very personal. When you want to try and establish a relationship in this material world, you'll find that you need to develop a personal relationship with someone. And therefore, you'll find that when you establish a personal relationship with someone, that relationship deepens. Therefore, it is stated that even though God is so great, and He may be so powerful and the creator of the material and spiritual worlds, God has a very unique relationship with each and every one of us. Wherever we are, in whatever feature of life we are in, we can choose to have a kind of relationship with God. Sometimes if you're older, if you're a mother, you're a father, you have the right to actually view God as a little boy or a child. If you are younger and you want someone to be your eternal companion or your friend, you can actually approach God in the form of a friend. If you want to have someone who's going to be your spiritual master or a guide, then you can turn to Him and establish a relationship where you say, God, you are my guide and I'm ready to follow you. Therefore, there are so many loving exchanges and levels of relationship that we can have with God. Just like in the material world, we all have different levels of relationship. Some of us are fraternal, some are maternal, right? Some are paternal. So there's so many different ways to love people. Therefore, in this story, there is a personality known as Yashoda. And she was the mother of God. God here is known as Krishna. Krishna came in the spiritual world as a little boy. And Mother Yashoda is actually one of the great devotees of God. But her exchange with God on that level was on the level of mother and son. So Mother Yashoda wakes up in the morning of Diwali, just like you and me. And in the morning of that day, when she wakes up, she decides that I want to do something to please Krishna. And she decided that Krishna would love it if I could churn some butter for him. Krishna loved butter. And so Mother Yashoda decided to churn butter. Today we buy butter from NTUC and CS Fresh. So we have no idea what it is to churn butter. But if you go to India and if you have met your parents or grandparents, I don't think even our parents would have churned butter. But mostly our grandparents would have seen that. You would realize that churning butter is a laborious task. Not very easy. But Mother Yashoda didn't mind churning butter, because while she was churning butter and performing what looked like a material activity, her mind and her consciousness was on Krishna. And since Krishna is entirely spiritual, her activity appearing material was actually spiritual. And this is the first lesson we learn, that in material life, you may have a material duty, so to speak, but you have the potency to spiritualize it if you perform it to the best of your ability. So if you're a teacher, be the best teacher you can be. If you are an architect, be the best architect you can be. But offer the results of your work for a higher cause, and you gain great satisfaction. That is the secret of work. And that's what Mother Yashoda did. And while she actually was churning butter, because she was remembering Krishna, she did not feel fatigue. She didn't feel tired. And that's another thing you will realize in spiritual life. When you take up spiritual life and you perform spiritual activities do not make you more fatigued. On the other hand, they tend to make you more inspired. You don't feel the difference. You don't feel like it's tiring. You don't feel like it's boring. Actually, you get very immersed in it. That's the power of spirit. And while she was churning butter, because she was concentrating on Krishna, little boy, was sleeping in the room next door. And he decided to wake up. And he came to see his mother, because he knew that his mother was remembering him. How does he know that? We have a belief that God is in the heart of everyone as the voice of your conscience. We all have a conscience, isn't it? The conscience tells us what to do and what not to do. And hopefully we listen to it. And the more we listen to it, the more we are guided spiritually. That voice of conscience is the voice of God. And so Mother Yashoda was churning butter and remembering Krishna. And Krishna came out of the room. And what did he do? He came to Mother Yashoda and he indicated to her that she should stop churning butter. It's okay. What he wanted from her was milk, because he was hungry and he was a little boy. So Mother Yashoda puts him on her lap and she starts feeding him, and she's very happy. But Mother Yashoda had actually put on the stove in the kitchen a little pot of milk for Krishna. And she wanted to feed him with that milk later. As she was feeding him, she realized that she was a little bit of an awkward situation. Why? Because the pot of milk was starting to boil over. Now, if the pot of milk boils over, the milk is burnt, it's not of use for Krishna. But at the same time, if she puts Krishna down, a hungry baby who's not fully fed is an angry baby. And she knew that he would probably throw a tantrum like babies do when they're not fed. So she decided, let me take a chance. Let me put Krishna down for a while. And then I will quickly save the milk and come back to feed the boy. She puts him down and she saves the milk. Krishna, meantime, remember, he is playing the part of a perfect child. Perfect child doesn't mean very good child. No child is very good at a certain age. In fact, no child is good at any age at some point, isn't it? When they are young, we have our own sets of problems. When they get to be teenagers, we have another set of problems. So Krishna played the part of a child perfectly because that was his exchange of love. And he thought, how dare mother put me down? I'm still hungry. I'm going to punish mother. Children do that, by the way. Yeah? They think they can punish parents, but they realize after a while that it's going to be the other way around. But Krishna decided, let me punish her by breaking this pot of butter that she was making. So he took a stone and he broke the pot and all the butter came out. And Krishna thought, now I'm in trouble because Mother Yashoda is obviously going to be angry with me. So he thought, let me run away, but not before tasting some of the butter. After all, there's butter and he loved butter. Krishna was famous for loving butter. In fact, Krishna was famous for stealing butter. And he would steal butter from his neighbor's house. Mother Yashoda, his mother, would make him the best butter. But Krishna would never eat butter from his home. He would go to his neighbor's house and he would steal butter from them. And you know how he would steal butter? He would steal butter by creating a diversion. He would go to the cow shed where all the cows were, and he would tie 2 cows' tails together, and then he would slap their backs. And they would run in opposite directions and realize that they were tied. And when that happened, everybody else would hear the cries of the cow and they would be distracted. And Krishna would take that opportunity to steal butter. Now, this is an important principle. In the material world, if someone's stealing butter, we don't glorify them. That's theft. But in the spiritual world, when God is stealing butter, we find it amazing. Do you know why? Because we have a very simple belief. Nothing really belongs to us, but everything belongs to the Creator. Actually, Krishna was not stealing butter. He was stealing the hearts of his devotees because everyone loved Krishna so much. And when he did these childish pranks, their love for him increased. You have noticed as parents how when your children are very naughty, you cannot help also but adore them for what they do. You can't show it to them because then they'll get really spoiled. But you know in your heart that it's something that you remember. And that's what Mother Yashoda felt. So Krishna has nothing to steal because everything belongs to him. We think that everything belongs to us. But if everything belongs to us, then by law, when we are born, we should have everything with us. And when we leave this world, whatever that is in our possession, we should take. But you and I know that we can't even take our body with us at the point of death. The body is either buried, it is burned, or it is disposed. But it cannot come with us. So God is teaching us something very important. Nothing belongs to you, but whatever that comes to you is a gift. Use it well. And if you use it for a higher cause, you gain so much satisfaction and you become free of anxiety. Use it only for yourself and you become very attached to it. And when it finally leaves you, that attachment will cause you so much of pain and so much of disappointment. So this is a very important point. So Mother Yashoda started walking, following Krishna's footsteps, because when she came out, she saw Krishna wasn't there. She saw the butter pot was broken and butter was spilled everywhere. And Mother Yashoda thought, Krishna has been really naughty today. I think I have to discipline him. Why? It's Diwali. I need to do a lot of work. Imagine, someone, if the host wants to receive all of you, they have a lot of work to do. And Mother Yashoda thought, let me discipline Krishna today. So she thought she would take a little stick with her just as a deterrent. So that when Krishna sees the stick, he will not be so naughty. So she took the stick and she followed Krishna's footsteps. How did she follow Krishna's footsteps? Because he had stepped in butter. And he had butter footprints all over. Wasn't difficult to follow him. So she follows him all the way into a storage room. And in that storage room, she has all these butter pots hanging high up because Krishna is very tiny. And she knew that's the only way to keep butter away from Krishna. But she had an amazing sight because she saw Krishna standing on a mota. A mota, right, in India used to be very big, about 6 foot maybe, and it's used to grind spices. Krishna had somehow got himself on the mota, and he was tiptoeing, and he had a stick in his hand, and he was breaking butter pots in the storage room. And all the butter was coming down. They were all coming down. And Mother Yashoda was watching this scene. But Krishna wasn't alone. He was not just feeding butter to himself, he was feeding butter to his best friends in Vrindavan. And his best friends were the monkeys. The monkeys loved Krishna, and Krishna loved monkeys for obvious reasons, because they were both full of mischief. And so Mother Yashoda saw Krishna very liberally giving butter he had just stolen to all the monkeys. You know, when thieves steal property and they get them together, suddenly they become very honest and they say, let's divide stolen property in an honest fashion. Have you heard that? That's what Krishna was doing. The butter was obviously not meant to come down that way, but he was just very, very generously feeding his friends, the monkeys. To Mother Yashoda, that was a normal exchange. But I would believe, the story goes, that the exchange between the monkeys and Krishna was very deep. These monkeys were great devotees in previous lives, and they always prayed to somehow or another have the opportunity to serve Krishna, to serve God. And Krishna never forgot the promise and the prayer that they had, and he fulfilled that prayer in this pastime. He allowed them the service of serving him, and he also served them. So you can see how important this exchange is between God and the devotee. It's an exchange of love, and that love is what keeps devotees happy in spiritual life. So Mother Yashoda watched this, and suddenly the monkeys turned and they saw her. And when they saw her, love or no love, exchange or no exchange, they decided time to scramble, and they left. Now Krishna's back was to the door, but when he saw all his monkey friends leaving butter, he knew there was someone behind him. And he turned around and he saw the object of his love, Mother Yashoda, whom he loved dearly. But when he saw her with that stick, then that love was a little bit, changed, because he became fearful. He thought now he would be punished by his mother. Mother Yashoda thought Krishna would run to her and embrace her. But Krishna jumped off the mota and he ran away from her. And Mother Yashoda thought, what a Diwali this is. I started the morning churning butter for the boy. He broke the butter pot. Now he's running, I have to catch him. But Mother Yashoda was confident. Krishna's a very little boy. It's easy to catch him. Parents, when you want to catch little children, they can run ahead, but you'll catch them. But Mother Yashoda forgot one important principle. Krishna is not just a little boy. He is the supreme personality of Godhead. He's the origin of all creations. Many people are running after him, but they cannot just catch him like that. It is not so easy to enter into the kingdom of God. It requires love, it requires virtues, it also requires surrender. Mother Yashoda thought she was almost going to catch him when he was half a feet away. Then again, when she thought she was going to catch his dhoti or whatever he was wearing, again he was 1 foot away. And Mother Yashoda kept running after him, and she couldn't catch Krishna. And finally she said, Krishna, can you just stop running so I can catch you? Just stop running. And when Krishna saw that his mother's love for him was greater than catching him to punish him, he surrendered to his mother. It may be said that God is very powerful and everyone should surrender to God. But here it shows that if a devotee sincerely prays to God, God has the ability to actually reciprocate. And therefore the principle of surrendering is very important. In material world, it's dangerous for you to surrender to someone because you don't know what they are and you don't even know what their motives are. But in the spiritual world, God has no other motive but to establish a very loving relationship with us. And therefore, Mother Yashoda surrendered to Krishna and Krishna surrendered to Mother. And then Mother Yashoda caught Krishna, but she became very sad because she saw that Krishna was shivering, because he was very frightened, because she still had that stick. And Krishna thought he was going to be punished. What did Krishna do at that point? Amazing thing. Krishna admitted to his mother, "Mother, I have committed a wrongdoing. I shouldn't have done that. I am sorry." He admitted. And when Mother Yashoda saw him admitting, saw him being so humble and so compliant, her heart also melted. And she thought, no, I cannot use the stick anymore. I think the poor boy is so scared. I'm going to put the stick down. And Mother Yashoda puts down the stick. Later when you go there and you offer the lambs, you will see Yashoda and you will see Krishna. Look to the side of Yashoda and you will see the stick there. Okay, it's just right there because she puts her stick down. And when she puts the stick down, she says, "Krishna, I am not going to do anything to you, but you are such a restless child. You're running around, you can't keep still. I need to do my work. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to tie you to the mortar for a while. Be still and I will tie you. And stay there until I finish everything." Krishna, who cannot be tied because he's God, who cannot be bound because he's God, he decided that, all right, I'll stand still. Let Mother try to tie me. And Mother Yashoda brought this little bit of rope. Krishna wasn't very big at that time. He was a little boy. He wasn't in the obese category, so she didn't need so much rope, just a bit of ropes. But she had a problem. When the rope came around her, around him, right up to his belly, she realized that the rope was 2 fingers short. She thought, that's a bit unusual. The boy is very small. She thought, let me get some more rope. And she got more rope and she tied them together. She brought it around his belly, but it was 2 fingers short. She thought, this is funny. I don't have any more rope in the house. Let me go to my neighbor's house. And she went to the neighbor's house and she said, can I have more rope? And the neighbors, who all love Krishna, who always were very ready to hear what happens with Krishna, they said, why do you want rope on Diwali? She said, I'm trying to tie up Krishna. But Krishna's very small. Why do you need so much rope? And she said, no matter how much rope I have, it's still 2 fingers short. Can I borrow some rope? And they said, yes, we'll give you the rope, but we want to come and see what's happening too. You know, that's the beauty of the spiritual world. In material world, when something's happening to your neighbor's house, everybody becomes curious, isn't it? They all come out, they watch. Because in material world, we have this habit of gossiping. And gossiping means when there's hot news, we all become extremely interested. Have you noticed how you're driving down the road and suddenly you see an accident on the other side? And all the cars start slowing down. And very often when that happens, somebody has an accident on this side too. Because we forgot that we were on the road. So in the material world, we have this habit of trying to find out something about someone. But in the spiritual world, that is an exchange of love. That's not gossip. Because everyone wanted to find out about Krishna. Krishna was the object of their love. So the neighbors came. And Mother Yashoda tried tying Krishna with all the rope she had. But it was 2 inches, 2 fingers short. And finally, Mother Yashoda decided, it's difficult. It's impossible to tie Krishna. And she told Krishna, Krishna, can you just somehow help me to stay still so that I can tie you? And Krishna thought that Mother Yashoda's love for me is so unmotivated, so unconditional. She's not tying me because she wants to conquer me. She's not tying me because she thinks this is an act of superiority over me. She's not tying me because she's envious of me. She's not tying me because she wants to get something from me. She's just tying me because she's very worried that I'm going to grow up being this juvenile delinquent and I'm going to grow up being not having the right values. She has no conditions in her heart except to love me. And so Krishna, who cannot be tied, God who cannot be bound, agreed that he will be surrendered and he will be bound. And Mother Yashoda managed to tie Krishna. Now I end the story by telling you that there is a significance to the 2 fingers of the rope that were short. The first finger is a very important quality for spiritual advancement. It is the quality of endeavor. All of you today who came, you all have fulfilled this quality. You know why? You endeavored to come here. Yes, you were invited to come, but it's a Sunday evening. You could have done anything else. You could have come up with an excuse, oh, I have something else to do. But you made the effort. You planned your day and you are here today. That's endeavor. Therefore, in any relationship, an important ingredient for a successful relationship is endeavor. And that endeavor must not be transactional. It mustn't be the fact that I'm endeavoring because I want something material from you. Have you all heard of the term fair weather friends? You probably would have heard it. Fair weather friends are friends who will call you once a year, twice a year. But you know when they call you, it's because they want something. After that, 1 year later, they will call you again. Those are not friends. Friends for us are friends who will just be there for you through thick and thin. Unconditional, whether times are good, times are not good, whether you have money, you have no money, whether you're bankrupt or you're not bankrupt, it doesn't matter to them because they are there on the basis of friendship. That is the important thing in the spirit world also. Our relationship with our Creator should be unconditional. And so endeavor is a very important ingredient. The second and last ingredient, which is very important for spiritual advancement, is the reciprocation of Krishna, God. That is His mercy. Mercy is a very interesting concept in all spiritual foundations of the world. Mercy simply means the ability of God to be attracted to you and Him giving you the kindness and the reciprocation that you deserve. And that can only come on the basis of your sincere endeavor. And therefore, when Mother Yashoda works so hard, with so much love, without expecting anything, just to serve Krishna, Krishna also reciprocated by surrendering to her. So therefore, we believe that God is not some strange, transient being far away in the world. We can actually establish relationship with God even right now, even right today. It's really up to us. And God doesn't have to be someone very far away, all-powerful, with a thunderbolt, waiting to punish us. In fact, the concept of God is very different. God can be your best friend. God can be your eternal companion. God is your eternal witness in your heart. He's a silent guest in your house. He's also the voice of your conscience. That's very important. I want to end by giving you a very simple illustration. This is a historical event. Before Sir Winston Churchill became the Prime Minister of England, if you know your history, there was a Prime Minister known as Mr. Gladstone, right? And Mr. Gladstone at that time, before World War, was a Prime Minister of the UK. And during that time, UK was probably, right, the greatest empire of the world. It was still before the war. There was a diplomat who came who wanted to meet Mr. Gladstone. And so he waited outside for a while. And he waited and waited and waited, and he was thinking, why and what is the Prime Minister doing? But the secretary kept telling the diplomat, Prime Minister is very busy and he's very engaged in something very important. And so the diplomat thought he must be engaged in some crucial talks with someone else, and it must be for the benefit of the country because he's the Prime Minister. But after a while, he got restless. And he thought, let me just peek in when the secretary was not there to see whether the meeting is going on or can I see him. And so he opened the door very quietly. And to his surprise, he saw an amazing sight. Mr. Gladstone, the Prime Minister of the greatest empire of the world at that time, was down on all fours and he was crawling on the floor. He had his grandson on his back, and the grandson was treating him like a horse and telling him, Grandpa, faster, faster, faster. And Gladstone was behaving the part very well of a horse, and he was just moving around the entire office. And the diplomat thought, why is this such an important thing that the Prime Minister can forego his time with me to spend time with his grandson? Simple event, but it illustrates a very important point. God is very powerful. He takes care of the whole world, the whole universe. He sustains, He maintains, He creates, He destroys. But when you develop a relationship with Him, that becomes just as important, if not more important. And He can drop everything to be as informal and loving as you want Him to be. That is the greatness of God. And that is why today on Diwali, we light lamps. We light lamps so that we pray that the ignorance that we have had in our heart, the ignorance of darkness, not understanding our relationship with Spirit, but always being immersed in matter, we pray that we grow more and more in Spirit. Because for most of our life, the condition of our existence is such that matter is always emphasized, but very little is emphasized of Spirit. And yet we know that it is Spirit that is keeping this body alive. Take out the Spirit, take out your consciousness, and this body is nothing more than a shell. And that's why we urge everyone to think about these things. It's a very simple story, and it has so much of deep symbolism. But the takeaway should be that we should all try to look within more often than to simply look without. Because our Creator has the facility to afford us a relationship. And just like we value so much of relationships in this material world, maybe it's time we valued spiritual relationships. Not just with God, but spiritual relationships with each other. We are all here actually not on the basis of any material relationships. Every one of us has come together here because of the basis of something that we're looking for, and that's spirit. So our gathering here is actually binding by a spiritual foundation more than a material foundation. So thank you very much for being patient. Thank you very much for hearing and tolerating me, because the occupational hazard of mine is I don't stop talking, but now I have to stop. And we are going to light lamps, right? Prabhu, I think we are ready to light lamps. So are we going to take them through what happens? Huh? You're going to do Achaman also, right? Okay, so what's going to happen is we are going to invite everyone to come over that side. Behind me, I'm not sure whether we're going to sing a prayer, right? This prayer will be put up behind. You can always look at it and join us in singing. Whatever that I told you, the story, that's all in the prayer. So it's very easy. You just heard it, and now we will chant it. Feel free to join me and chant if you can. Otherwise, at some point, we will move from the prayer to the Hare Krishna mantra, which is very easy and everyone can follow. You will all come forward. Pradeep is there, and family. They will actually give you a little bit of water for you to just wash your hand. It's a purificatory thing. Then they will give you a lamp, and it will be lit, and you can take it and make your offering. What should be your prayer or your consciousness as you're offering the lamp? Only one thing. Just have this prayer or this wish that somehow or another give me the opportunity to be deeper in my spirit and to be more happy in spiritual things. I think if you have that prayer, the prayer will come true. Try it. See if it works. 1 year later, we can have a chat about it. Okay? Are we ready? Okay, it's behind me. I hope I'm not blocking you. But let's chant. Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasakundalam Kule Brajamanam. Your turn. Ishwaram Anandarupam Lasa. Can you pop in Prabhu and tell him we'll be there at 8:45? Premanand, 8:45. Let me get my... Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasakundalam Kule Brajamanam. Thank you, Guru. Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasakundalam Kule Brajamanam. Yashoda Biyolu Kaladhavamanam Param Rishtahamadyan Tato Drutya Gopya. Yashoda Biyolu Kaladhavamanam Param Rishtahamadyan Tato Drutya Gopya. Rudantam Muhurnetrayukmam Vrijantam Karambojayukme Nasatam Kanetram. Rudantam Muhurnetrayukmam सृजन्तं कराम्बुजयुग्मे न सातङ्कनेत्रम् मुहुश्वासकम्पा त्रिरेखाककन्तं स्थितग्रैवं दामोदरं भक्तिभावम् मुहुश्वासकम्पा त्रिरेखाककन्तं स्थितग्रैवं दामोदरं भक्तिभावम् इति दृक्स्वलीलाभिः आनन्दकुन्दे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम् इति दृक्स्वलीलाभिः आनन्दकुन्दे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम् तदीशिकान्ये शुभक्तैर्जितानं पुनः प्रेमहतस्तं सतामृति वन्दे इशितान्ये शुभक्तैर्जितानं प्रेमहतस्तं सतामृति वन्दे वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षवदिं न चान्यं वृणेऽहं परिशारपीह वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षवदिं न चान्यं वृणेऽहं परिशारपीह इदं देव पूर्णाता गोपालबालम् सदा मे मनस्य विरस्तां किमन्ये इदं देव पूर्णाता गोपालबालम् सदा मे मनस्य विरस्तां किमन्ये इदं ते मुखाम्बोजम् अद्यन्तनीलम् ऋतं कुन्तलैस्ते दरकाश्च गोप्या इदं ते मुखाम्बोजम् अद्यन्तनीलम् ऋतं कुन्तलैस्ते दरकाश्च गोप्या मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बं रतादरं मे मनस्याविरास्ताम् अलं लक्षलाभे मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरतादरं मे मनस्याविरास्ताम् अलं लक्षलाभे नमो देवदामोदर अनन्तविष्णु प्रसीद प्रबोधो कजलातिमग्नम् नमो देवः दामोदर अनन्तविष्णु प्रसीद प्रबोधो कजलातिमग्नम् कृपादृष्टिवृष्याति दिनं बतानु ग्रहाणे क्षमामन्यमेधाक्षिदृशया कृपादृष्टिवृष्याति दिनं बतानु ग्रहाणे क्षमामन्यमेधाक्षिदृशया कुबेरात्मजौ बद्धः मूर्त्यैव यादौ वयमोचितौ भक्ति भजौ कृतौ च कुबेरात्मजौ मूर्त्यैव यादौ वयमोचितौ भक्ति भजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकं मे प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहो मे स्थिदामोदरेह तथा प्रेम भक्तिं ग्रहों में श्री दामोदरे नमस्ते स्तु धाम्ने स्फुरति धाम्ने त्वदीयोदराय विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमस्ते स्तु धाम्ने स्फुरति धाम्ने त्वदीयोदराय विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमो राधिकायै त्वदीया प्रियाय नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं नमो राधिकायै त्वदीया प्रियाय नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे everybody हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 I can't hear you. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol. जय श्री यशोदा दामोदर जी की, जय श्री राधा दामोदर जी की, जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, जय श्री हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र युग धर्म की, Ananta Gauri Vaishnavinda ki Nitya Gaura Premanande. Thank you very much for joining us for today's program. And I hope you take back all the greatness of the vibrations and take back the wonderful story that you heard also. And take back the values that comes from the story. I leave it to the host, Pradeep Prabhu, Padmalochan Prabhu.